Hello, Julio. I got your email, and I'm just going to set this up for you to kind of take a look at. I'm in the back end of Absorb, and your question was basically, can the Ascend Plus manage their government and clients individually, and then have an administrator for each one individually? And the answer to that is yes, absolutely, and that's very easy to do. The first thing that you want to do is go into Departments and go to Manage Departments. When you're in Manage Departments, you can set up as many departments, and keep in mind that a department is just the name that we give it, but a department could literally be an individual client or internal people or whatever it is. And then in your department, so instance for here, if this is your company or this is a client of yours, Landmark, you can drill into the Landmark department or client and see that Landmark is broken down into 6 more. If you want to add departments at any time, keep in mind that it's going to place it inside of this silo or inside of this hierarchy, for lack of better terms. And you can always come down here and add departments, and it's very easy to come in and just give the department a name and so on. Now, when I go back into Manage Departments, the other question was how do you get an administrator for each individual department? And quite easily, if you want to create an administrator, in your departments roles, you have Manage Administrators. And when you click on the Manage Administrators, you can see that currently we've got 6 administrators in this department, or in the whole system, I should say. And when you want to add an administrator, it'll allow you to fill out the administrator information here, but also it tells you what department that administrator is going to be in charge of. So this administrator right now, if we wanted them to be an administrator of the Landmark department, we can say that they're in charge and they can pull anything from the Landmark department, and when they're at the Landmark department level, they can view anything at this level plus all lower levels that belong to that silo or that hierarchy. And if you wanted to define an even more finite administrator, if you wanted somebody to be an administrator of the Landmark department only for accounting, so they can only pull reports on accounting and no other areas in here, you can just fill out the accounting, and now they're an administrator that can fill out and pull reports just on accounting within inside of the Landmark area. Otherwise, we can just click on Landmark and bring them back to the Landmark department or client. The other component to this is, what do you want that administrator to actually do with the Landmark department or people? And so what you can do is you can come down here and you can define underneath the dotted line here, there are these roles, and you can define what that administrator will be able to do with his people. So if you want to grant him administrator, system administrator, view only, these are the different levels that you can grant. Also on top of that, you can build your own levels in here in the role area. So if none of those satisfy quite what you're looking for, you can obviously change those. And how you do that, Julio, is down here in the Manage Roles. You can come in and manage roles. Anything with a padlock is going to be created automatically and it has a default in the system. If you want to create your own roles, you can come down here and you can add a role. You can give the role and admin a name, and then you can come in here and you can see that each one of these little check boxes kind of correlate to the areas over here. So if you want somebody to have full control over the Landmark people, you can just click on all these so they can do everything with e-commerce, everything with courses, careers, employees, departments, reports, and so on. If you want that person in Landmark to only be able to do reports, you would uncheck really everything else. And then inside of the reports, after I get it done here, inside of reports, what do you want them to allow? So when that person does log in with this role that you're creating, they're only going to be able to see the reports button, and then inside of the reports sub buttons here, you can add or take away access to any of these. So it's really easy to kind of filter down who has access to what. And if you have any questions, just let me know.